please welcome the writer, director, producer, and cinematographer, Adam Reid. I didn't remember that you had actually shot this too.
Well, I'm not much of a cinematographer. It was more by necessity because I wanted the film to be made. So at one point I was like, well, wait a second. If I pick up the camera myself and I let go of a lot of the awesome and artful trappings of having an amazing crew, because we shot with 5 people and myself, I thought I could just make the movie. And I didn't have to ask anyone's permission, and I didn't have to borrow any money. And so it made it possible. And so I think that was worth it. When you have no money and you don't have an art department, it becomes really important to have the real world stand in for itself. So that's Harry's dollhouse, and that's his, we reverse engineer everything. So those are his, soundproof booth, his underwear. Nice. And actually, they're my underwear. That's embarrassing. I just lied. I actually gave him those and was like, put these on. But I want my actors to be as close to the parts that they're going to play as possible. I'm not looking for some sort of transformation. So, because you want to get to the business of like mining their soul and having a good time, and I don't want to wake up in the morning and be like, are they going to be able to do it? And I think that's where all that characterization stuff came from, and the real life that we're talking about. And it's amazing because Harry got the script in Harry's case, and he was like, I think you have my house bugged, because his life is very much like that. I did it with the imagination of what that life might be like. They each shot 5 days because we separated it in 3 weeks. So it's into locations. So that wasn't a huge commitment for an actor. So if they're excited about a part, and these are great actors, but they're not like marquee actors. And I think I'd like to think it was a no-brainer for them. But of course, when they show up, I think they were really kind of upset because they thought they were in a movie, and it's me with a video camera. And like they read a script and it's like, oh, this is great. And then they, but amazingly, they show up, and as soon as you get into the moment and you're doing it, it doesn't matter. If you like your film, keep going. There are champions of film. There are places like Film Independent, especially Film Independent, that will notice. And that's such a gift because we all can't be ballers and come in with our entourage and get placed and get picked up. And things fall through great films fall through the cracks at those festivals. And here we are. I'm going to try not to make the same movie again and again, but I love these actors, and Lena's been in now 2 of my films, so I have a hard time, although she's a pain in the ass, but wonderfully worth it. Oh, she can't drive. She lied to me. She told me she could drive, because I wrote this role, and I'm like, you drive, right? And she's like, oh, yeah, but she's lived in, I wasn't thinking, because she's lived in Manhattan for 30 years, and we're actually shooting the movie, and I realized she just refuses. Flat out, it's like one of those things on a resume, special skills, and she just couldn't do it. So the shots of her driving are all fake, like the nighttime stuff with the lights, and we're looking at her. That's a TGI Fridays parking lot. I'm shining a flashlight in her face, and we're just shooting, and we have a fan that's in a shopping cart and blowing her hair ever so gently. And that's what you're seeing. And she's supposed to be thinking about whatever she's thinking about. I don't know. This was not the plan. I'm in the car going, drive, Lynn. You can't drive 5 miles per hour on a highway. I won't allow it. And she's like, I refuse. And we ran into a Target to buy the fan. And it's just it was powered off of the car itself. I'll stop with the fan story. Okay.
Most amazing DIY story I've ever heard.